Hello, I'm Dan Winkowich, and again here from Tri-States Grain Conditioning. We're making these videos to show you more about grain temperature monitoring and how it works. Now today we're going to do something very practical, because now you've ordered your system and you are out at your bin site and you have received your cable. Now this is what the cable looks like, and you've hung it in your bin, and it's hanging there, and you're told now you need to hook that cable up and you need to do something called crimping. But before you do the crimping, you've got to do some stripping. Now you'll be happy to know, especially in the winter, that you're allowed to do your stripping with your clothes on. And in just a minute, I'm going to show you how that works. However, first of all, realize you're going to be seeing this kind of wire outside of the bin, not the cable. This is called lead wire. It comes from the head of the cable down the side of the bin to your central reading station where you have a readout plug. And I'm going to show you how to hook that up, because we have many questions about it. You might have a wire coming out with 18 readings. We call that 18 TC lead wire. You might have a 12 TC with 12 TC lead wire, or you might have a smaller wire with 6 TC. And I'm going to show you how to strip that back and crimp it today. Now when you're going to work with your cables, you're going to have to reveal the actual lead wires, and you'll find a ridge on one side of the black lead wire. And if you feel with your finger, you'll find that. And you're just going to open that up a little bit, and inside you'll see a nylon ripcord. If you have a needle nose pliers, you can get a hold of that easily. You'll pull that back, then just open that up and get those wires free. And you go ahead and pull it back, and now you have revealed your individual wires that you're going to be crimping together. Now when we're doing the 12 TC lead wire, it's a little thicker wire and there are more wires inside, but once again we're going to find that ridge, find the blue ripcord, pull that back, and get those wires exposed. Once we get them exposed, you'll notice that there are two groups of wires and they're wound together. You want to keep those separate, and we'll expose those. We'll loosen them up so we can work with them. And one group will have a white constant tan, and what you will do there is just wind that around these and keep them together so that they don't get mixed up with the brown. We don't want that. And then we're going to do the same thing with the brown group of wires, where we separate those out, and we find this brown, and again then we wrap it around and keep it nice, two groups of wires. Now we're going to do an 18 TC lead wire. This is the thicker of all of our lead wires, and you just keep working down until you get that nicely revealed. Once again, get a hold of the blue ripcord, grasp it firmly, pull it back. You won't hurt these wires, so you don't have to be too timid about it. Just work them all out of there, and on the 18, sometimes you got to work at it a while, and you'll pull them all out. Now once you've pulled them out, this time you're going to see not two groups of lead wires, but three. And so as we get the three all out, we're going to unwind them and see, oh, what ground wire or constant tan do we have here? Oh, here we have the white one. So I'm going to wind this around and just make sure I keep those wires together. And now I have my white group. Then I go to my next group, and once I unwind it, I'll see pretty quickly, okay, now here, what color's my ground wire here? Well, here I have an orange wire. And when you have the 18 TC, you have a white, a brown, and an orange. And so you wind your orange around here and set that up like that. And then you'll go to the third group and you'll do the same thing. You'll wind this out and find your ground wire or your constant tan. That's your brown. And so you're going to wind that around there and keep those groups nicely separated. and you'll have your 3 groups of wires. Well, now that you have revealed the wires that are inside of the lead wire, you're going to be crimping them together. Now, the nice part is when you crimp them to the plugs that are in the CRS box, then you will be going color to color. So you will simply take the 2 wires together and you're going to go white to white, and you do not need to strip off this vinyl coating. There's nice sealants, field crimps that have been sent along. You just feed that down over it. And I have here a nice crimper, which I'm going to use. And it goes just like that and squeezes it down nicely. Now, you probably don't have a crimper, and if you don't, that's fine. What you'll do is simply use a nice lineman's pliers, and you'll crimp those down. Now, for those who do it often, this becomes a very quick process. If you haven't done this a lot, you'll just work at it slowly. If you use bifocals like I do, you'll be putting them on. And it's a trial and error thing, but if you don't get in a hurry and are just patient and you work through it and say, okay, well, now I get my next color. Well, I need a blue. And I got a blue here, and I just continue crimping these wires together. And you do that until you have them all connected, color to color, crimp by crimp. And now we're down to our last wire, and we're crimping the lead wire that comes out of the head of the cable and down the side of the bin to the wire that is connected to the readout plug where we're going to read our temperatures. We put this last crimp on, and again, this is a crimping tool. You may or may not have one of these, but you simply slide that in and then crimp it down. Now, if you don't have a crimping tool, you can use another type of pliers. You'll just squeeze down gently on there and squeeze down. You'll feel it come together nicely and squeeze it together. And you can test it by just giving a gentle tug. And when you're done, this is what it'll look like. And your cable is now connected, ready to go, and you may be called an expert stripper.